I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Network. Let's talk about Mark Cuban, the billionaire owner of the Dallas Mavericks. And you may be like, wait a minute, this is not black and white sports. I get that. But this really has less to do with him being an owner of the Mavericks as much as it does him slamming the hell out of Elizabeth Warren. Now, here's one of my issues with doing this because, you sort of get poetic justice in this for who you support in your politics. Now, oddly enough, and I don't know how many people know this, there was a time Donald Trump and Mark Cuban were tight. Yeah, there was also a time when Mark Cuban was considering not only running for president, but was considering being a VP of Donald Trump's back when he was talking about before he ran in 2016. My goodness, how somebody falls right off a cliff. Well, Mark Cuban has went nuts. He embraced Black Lives Matter, Marxism, socialist principles, the whole nine, shilling for the Democrats, and now it has come back and it has bit him in the ass because it looks like it's going to bite him in the pocketbook. So this is sort of poetic justice. I don't support these billionaires getting nailed, by the way. I don't. I know even some conservatives do. But look, there's a lot that drives this, right? I say America's a business, and these people with these businesses, they do churn the wheel, okay? I just don't think it's fair for Democrats to target somebody because they're wealthy. Well, wait a minute now. I'm wealthy, so you want in my pocket? I worked to build this up. I created this, and now you want to put your filthy Marxist gloves into my coffers? No. So I don't blame Mark Cuban for being mad, but again, his politics supported this. This is the Daily Caller. Screw you, Elizabeth Warren. Mark Cuban lets it rip on senator over taxes. And there's video of this. We're going to play it. Billionaire Mark Cuban ripped Democratic Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren on Tuesday over her proposals to hike taxes. Cuban made the comments at Vox Media's Code Conference in L.A., where he was discussing women in politics and critiquing the two-party system. Quote, everybody just takes your money in little chunks, and all of a sudden that adds up. And because you give them these little chunks of money, you have to root for your team, Cuban said. The entrepreneur then took aim at Warren, saying that while he'd be willing to accept a tax increase, Warren's plans take it a step too far. Quote, I don't mind being taxed more, Cuban said. I wrote a blog 20 years ago saying it's most patriotic thing to do after military service is to pay your taxes because that's what allows everybody to, to live and to prosper. But yeah, the idea of just soak the rich billionaire tears, let's sell that cup, he wasn't having it. Let's play it.
But yeah, the idea of just soak the rich billionaire tears, let's sell that cup. Mm-hmm. Screw you, Elizabeth Warren. You're everything wrong with politics.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, then. All right.
Wow. Can you imagine? He actually said that in L.A. I'm surprised he made it out of town alive at this point. Warren, and look, even though he's in L.A., there's some of them Hollywood folks out there that remain. Look, they got to operate in the shadows at this point. Conservatives are literally in hiding in Hollywood. That is a fact, by the way. They call it the new Hollywood blacklist. Warren has proposed a, quote, ultra-millionaire tax, which would tax the wealth of American households with a net worth greater than $50 million. The proposal, introduced in 2021, would have placed a 2% annual tax on households with a net worth between $50 million and $1 billion. Those with a net worth greater than $1 billion would face an additional 1% surtax. So I guess Cuban would be looking at a 3% tax. I don't know how that would work because I'm sure he's got a bazillion write-offs. I don't know. Okay. Hell, I'm not a stock and I'm not a financial analyst, so I don't know. That's John's gig. Okay. But you get the point. it's pretty surprising that Cuban come out and said this. Not only did he say it, he said it to a woman, and he said it publicly. So look, in the philosophy that I like to call blind squirrel nut, right? Blind squirrel finds a nut. Leftist Mark Cuban, and I'm sorry, Mark Cuban considers himself, actually, last I heard, he actually still thinks he's kind of a Republican, or at least a moderate Democrat or a moderate Republican. Look, Mark Cuban's a rhino, okay? He's kind of a rhino voter, right? Well, right there, the billionaire version of Liz Cheney is pissed at Elizabeth Warren. Well, look, this is the kind of thing you supported. You could have Trump going on right now, and you and him could be sauntering around, working these deals, and he would be preventing things like this from happening. But you decided to go out there and open your mouth up against Donald Trump. This is, you reap what you sow, Mark Cuban. I don't agree with the premise, and I don't agree with Senator Warren doing it, and I give him credit for publicly calling her out. I'm just surprised she ain't been canceled yet, or he hasn't been canceled yet publicly over this, and I bet it's because this hasn't made the rounds enough. Because when Twitter gets a hold of this, they're going to annihilate him because they adore Elizabeth Warren. She's worthless as tits on a boar hog, for crying out loud. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Poetic justice for Mark Cuban. Next time, don't get a case of TDS. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.